Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mermaid Radio. You are listening to this week's Universal Energy reading using the 16 Cowrie and the Veve prophecy cards. I am Mami Olufunke. This reading is in effect from today, Monday, March 23rd, through Sunday, March 29th, 2020. Let's get started. The universal energy reading for the planet this week sees 4 Cowrie on the mat and Maza Orumila in the Veve prophecy cards. Here, Earth Mother has taken from the fruits of our labor this time, and we are forced to retreat into our homes to avoid being massacred by the abundance of magic that she has used against us. She has forced us to retreat into our homes where we cannot litter, we cannot dump garbage into her. So we have to really cease and desist. And I didn't really understand the full weight of those words, but now it's coming to light that that was a serious request. We're in exile on our own, what we call home planet. We call this home. We call this our planet, and we're so proud of our world, but yet we're destroying it. It's not everyone who's destroying it, but it's everyone who's suffering for the destruction of this world. Plastic in the ocean is not working. Everything else on the planet is screaming at the destruction humanity is bringing to this world. It's our humanity and our lack of wisdom as to what humanity means in this world that's brought us to this place, disregarding the God and Goddess of this world, disregarding the unseen spirits of this world, the spirits that guard the trees, the spirits that guard the rivers, the spirits that move the clouds and synchronize the tides to the moon. We really do disrespect this planet and disregard the workings of it. And mostly because it seems to be a scientific problem, it seems, but the movement of germs and disease is as much spiritual, and it really is spiritual first, because that is the science and technology we had before the advent of the American Medical Association and Pasteur and all these people who are claiming to be in control of health and well-being on the planet. Now, all those people are made to know that you're not in charge of the health and well-being of this planet. Yes, you can aid and assist, but you are not in charge. And so please, I ask everyone to stay safe. I ask everyone to follow the taboos and the protocols of the time. Wash your hands often. I say wear a mask in public, gloves, keep some kind of alcohol solution with you to wash your hands in the advent that you have to touch something questionable, so that you do not transfer any of this coronavirus to yourself and your loved ones. Earth Mother really insists on surviving, and she's really making us, I heard all kinds of things on the internet this week. One person likened it to, we've been bad, and Earth Mother has chastised us and given us a time out, sent us to our room, like Mother does children. We are children on this planet at 90 years old, at 100 years old, at 60 years old, at 30 years old, 4 years old. It really matters not how much experience you have with this world. You're a baby compared to this world. And so we're being chastised like little children because we can't get it when we're asked to do something simple. Let's go back to paper bags. Something simple as pick up after your dog so that this waste doesn't run down into the water supply, into the river. Something simple as being kind to one another. While we're fighting over what color your skin is and what kind of hair you have and what you do for a living, and we're fighting over, here comes something to stop everything. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, how much money you have or don't have. You're lucky if you have a place to stay so that you can really step back from this coronavirus. If you do not, you need our prayers. We need to pray that all the people who are homeless can find shelter in a place that is germ free. Let's put it that way. We don't want to just say not. We just want it to be free from germs, where it's safe, it's comfortable, it's clean, and they don't have to become a part of the problem. Ashe. The universal energy reading for the people this week sees 11 Cowrie on the mats and Lingla Su Agbao Rune in the Veve prophecy cards. People are really a bit unstable in the mind. I didn't want to say crazy. I want to say unstable now. People have a great nervousness on their head because people think that this is the end of the world. And because of that, people are just letting down all they know that is right, and they just want to be happy, even if for a moment, and they want to engage in the activity that they think will make them happy, even if just for a moment. So you have to be careful of that. You don't want to just engage people because they want you to, or you want to get to know people. There's going to be a whole new set of rules of engagement. It's going to have to make itself, although we can fall back on what's been tried by generations past and pretty much worked, except unless you stepped outside of the boundary. There will be life after this. There will be a chance to work your magic on this world. If you are so lucky as to be able to stay in your body, because just like this world is not ours, it seems like the body is not ours either. Our intention and what we intend for ourselves and others, for this planet, for old people or people that seem weaker than you, it's your intentions and how you deal with those situations that's going to help you survive. It's a time for you to be good to people. It's a time for us to be good to each other. There will be life after this virus sweeps the world. If we stand apart at this time, call each other often, especially those who are home alone. No pet, no children, no family, just in an environment alone. Time has stopped. The world has really come to a grinding halt, and it's time for us to really think about how we treat each other and how we treat this planet. And those who have money to spend freely, digging into the ocean floors, and there are over 5,000, maybe 10,000 by now. I looked that up maybe 7 or 8 years ago. There were 5,000 holes in the floor of the Gulf of Mexico. So that's in the Gulf of Mexico. Then we have the Gulf in the Mediterranean. We have a Gulf in China. We have a Gulf around Japan. There's basically relatively shallow water. 200 feet is relatively shallow. And we're drilling holes, fighting the tides and pulling oil and other minerals out of the ground unnecessarily. We don't need it. So it's entirely unnecessary, especially at the rate we're pulling it up. We're pulling it up because we plan that Russia might do something to us. We plan that China's going to do something, or that we're going to have to do something to some. I'm like, we don't need enough gas to roll out 50,000 tanks, or fly 50,000 planes over another. Obviously, we don't own this world, so we need to really rethink why we're pulling all this oil out of the ground and why we think it's okay to just dump stuff in the ocean, in the rivers which run to the ocean. Ashe. The universal energy reading for love this week sees 9 Cowrie on the mat and Obatala Ogun in the Veve prophecy cards. Nine Cowrie says that we need not work negative magic to have another love us. We need not work that kind of magic, and we need to be careful of the gifts we accept right now. We don't want to accept gifts from people right now. I noticed the mail has slowed down. I'm only getting bills because the people you love have to pick up those gifts from somewhere. And they might not be healthy because it might be healthy when it left your house, but by the time the person has to get it from the post office, it has to go through I don't know how many hands just across town, much less down south and out to California and up to Canada and across the world. So be careful on the gifts that you accept. I suggest we don't send any. At this time, people who are lovers, people who are gathered together and huddled together should continue to think on the ventures that they want to work on together, because this thing will pass and we will be able to continue to manifest our dreams and goals and visions. Ashe. The universal energy reading for money this week sees 7 Cowrie on the mat. Osayen Eshu and the Veve prophecy cards. Here we see there's a possibility of people coming together and making contracts and promises to each other. But we need to be very careful in those promises and contracts. Need to be careful in a marriage. Make sure you can really deal with what's in a prenuptial agreement. Don't argue at this time. Try not to get into disputes and arguments. Don't, if you see somebody's upset about something you're saying, let it go for a more calm time when people can deal with, distractions. And but right now, it's a little bit of nervousness. There's a little bit of nervousness about everyone, and so just honor the contracts you have. Try not to sign up new contracts. If you were due to get married in this time, I would say if there's no arguments around the wedding and the marriage, that you can go through with it. And I would say do a go-to-meeting virtual wedding. I mean, before this time, I have a family member that did one a few years ago, and I attended, and it was really beautiful. And it's a good idea, and it's just as effective and heartwarming, and it has an emotional impact that it reaches you. So that's my suggestion. Congratulations if you're getting married. Ashe. The universal energy reading for health and well-being says 6 Cowrie on the mat and Ezilio Shun Ogun in the Veve prophecy cards. Here it says we have to follow the taboos. 6 Cowrie says Eshu will play tricks and games and make us think that we're all right, we're infallible, and we can't catch things. No, wear your mask, put on your gloves, use your hand sanitizer, use soap and water as much as possible, wipe off your doorknobs, light switches, things where more than just you touch, and keep yourself and your family safe. Stay equipped, stay vigilant about being healthy and surviving. Ashe. The universal energy reading for spiritual development sees 7 Cowrie on the mat and Izan Ogun in the Veve prophecy cards. This reading we're going to be together. We're going to have to interact with each other. And together now, it means something different than it meant a while ago. So you will have to you can do Facebook Live, go to meeting, and these other platforms that have streaming where you can engage more than one person, and you will have your get-togethers on that. Remind people of, to be vigilant and mindful of life after this coronavirus. You can meet and do prayer sessions. You can meet and do rituals together. And we can't give up on it. And remember our commitment to the group. Do not argue. Do not argue. Do not argue with each other. People will make promises. You're going to have to not hold it against them. You're going to have to let it go this week so that we can survive together and be cordial with each other after it's over. This time, we don't want to make friction with people that we're going to have to deal with for a long time after this is over. Okay? Try not to shade. This has been Mami Olufunke's Universal Energy Reading. I thank you for joining me this week. I thank all of my subscribers for listening in. I pray that you are safe and sound wherever you live, work, whatever you have to do. And Earth Mother has given us a timeout, and it seems problematic and it's scary. Use this time to grow your divine character and your spiritual development so that when you come out of this phase of life, you will be in a better place than you are now. Have a great week, everyone. I look forward to seeing you again next Monday. Please be safe. Please return. Ashe.